Well, I'm delighted to say I'm joined now by Stephen Lynch, Director of International Trade at the British Chambers of Commerce. Stephen, you're very welcome here. Thank you so much for joining us. So, a really landmark visit by the British Prime Minister to China. The view in China seems to be that his visit was an act of economic pragmatism, business taking precedence over politics. I mean, what do you think? Has the Prime Minister struck the right kind of tone for the British business community?
I think it has been a success in regards to the objectives that he set out with. I think it could be a historic visit if we get the next part of this right. I think the priorities of this visit have been engagement and re-engagement at the highest level of diplomacy, which seemed to have gone very well. A 2-hour meeting almost with Keir Starmer and Xi Jinping. And then the second part of this, which is not landmark, I wouldn't say, but is around that economic security, the trade and investment deals. So for the business community, this has been about stabilisation and giving clarity to what comes next. And
so we've had secured, market access, lower tariffs, investment deals. What about this visa-free travel arrangement with China? Is that the biggest coup in some ways, would you say? So visa-free travel for Britons to visit China for under 30 days. That will allow sort of holidays and business trips. Is that significant?
So I'm going to use the Chinese proverb here. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. So yes, this is really important, and we really welcome the fact that we have visa-free travel. It would have been nicer if it came a few years ago, but we've got it, and that's really important because that will reduce a lot of the practical frictions and logistics. So it'll allow more businesses to go in and out of the country, more students, more tourism, and that's really, really important, and that will genuinely help the people-to-people relationship, which is the bedrock, the foundation of this relationship.
Well, absolutely. And let's talk about investments. Not a huge bundle of investments worth billions of dollars by Chinese or British firms. Keir Starmer, though, of course, securing this Scotch whisky tariff cut with China worth more than $300 million. I mean, good news, but it's not really a big deal in the big scheme of things, is it?
Well, whiskey's symbolic, right? Everyone can hold a bottle of whiskey. They know exactly what it is. So that is why this has been put front and centre. The other aspect of that is it's global. And the reason it's global is because 90% of whiskey is exported. So any little kind of tariff has a big impact. It was previously 5%, it went up to 10%, it's now back down to 5%. That's really welcomed by the industry. I think, again, I go back to the priority of this visit was engagement, setting that stable relationship for a lot more trade and investment to flow. And it's all built upon trust. And that really is the key to this visit.
We heard AstraZeneca set to invest $15 billion in China. Do you think UK businesses are likely to feel much more confident investing in China following this visit?
I think yes. I think the major businesses have been in market 50, 60 years. AstraZeneca, a key player in that. I think where this visit needs to translate to is these small, medium businesses that actually do want to engage with China. Sort of the knowledge is not there. That's the challenge. It's not the willing, it's the knowledge. And so I think this sets a layer of stability, a layer of credibility and clarity that these are the areas that we can engage, and these are sort of the guardrails that actually we can't. And I think that helps the relationship. So the Prime Minister, for the first time, has been talking about trade-offs, the areas we can work together and the areas where it's slightly risky. So I do really welcome this layer of credibility and clarity for the business community.
Credibility, clarity, absolutely the centre of this. Let's talk about services, UK services. They're an absolutely massive export for the British economy, aren't they? Worth something like $13 billion. What would you say about this feasibility study that's been announced? I mean, could that really open up this as a major new market in China, or how important is that?
So we're a service superpower. That's 80% of our economy. Our financial professional services, the City of London, everything we do around services is our opportunity for the next 15, 20 years moving forward. That's the exact inverse in regards to our relationship with China. It's 20% of our bilateral relationship. So the opportunity is genuinely enormous if we can get this right. So feasibility study is really welcomed. If that means we're sort of moving closer around capital markets and Chinese businesses being allowed to list on the London Stock Exchange, that's actually genuinely very important. What the clarity is, what this means, the details have to be played out. But the opportunity is there. And then the opportunity for the UK and financial professional services is also to support Chinese businesses going outbound into other third markets. So again, I do welcome this. We'll see the details in the coming months.
Well, do come back and talk to us about those details as we get them. Really great to have your input today. Thank you so much, Stephen. Stephen Lynch, Director of International Trade at the British Chambers of Commerce. Many thanks.